Praise be Jesus Christ. Bishop Barron dropped a bomb during the consistory of cardinals. This is on January 6th. He sent out a tweet on X. This is what he wrote. I understand that one of the topics under consideration at the consistory of cardinals is synodality. I'm speaking as a bishop who was an elected delegate to both rounds of the Synod on Synodality in Rome and who has just presided over a local synod in my own diocese. Synods are good and useful tools for the determination of practical pastoral strategies, but they ought not to be forums for debate regarding doctrine. Boom. That's kind of all you need to know. That's the executive summary. These synods, bunch of people getting together talking about stuff, that's great. I love that kind of stuff. Any retreat I've done in the last decades, I always like to have small groups, all of that. Love that kind of stuff, but that's not the place where you decide doctrine. He goes on to write, when settled teaching becomes a subject for synodal determination, the church devolves into relativism and self-doubt, as is clearly evident in the misconceived synodal way in Germany. Everyone knows Germany is completely off the rails. I continue. He writes, I sympathize with the founders of the journal Communio, Joseph Ratzinger, Hans Urs von Balthasar, and Hani de Lubac, who broke with the journal Concilium, the stated purpose of which was to the perpetuation of the spirit of Vatican II. The great Communio theologian said that councils are indeed sometimes necessary in the life of the church, but that one sighs with relief at the end of a council. I hope you're reading between the lines here. For the church can then return to its essential work. As long as it sits in council, the church is in suspense, unsure of itself, wringing its hands. It was precisely the perpetuation of the spirit of Vatican II that led to so much vacillation and drift in the years when I was coming of age. We all know about that, the craziness after Vatican II, poorly implemented. He goes on to say, and here's another boom, check this out. So, if we must continue with synodality. Did you catch that? See, he's saying, listen, when the church is in synod, there's kind of a waiting. There's a uncertainty. So do we need to be in a perpetual synod of discernment and figuring things out? That's why he says, if we must continue with synodality, because some people are saying, okay, enough of all this synodality stuff. Let's get to work. Anyways, let me continue. So if we must continue with synodality, let it be dedicated to the consideration of practical means by which the church can more effectively do its work of worshiping God, evangelizing, and serving the poor, and let it not be a defining, permanent feature of the church's life, lest we lose our verve and focus. I love it. Beautiful. My scripture for you today, 2 John verse 9. Anyone who is so progressive as not to remain in the teachings of the Christ does not have God. One last point. I just found out today we still have copies left of Matthew Kelly's beautiful book. I love this book. Slowing Down to the Speed of Joy. This is the next book we're studying in my School of Reading. Anyone who signs up for the School of Reading, we're going to send you this book, my latest book on Mary, Mary in Your Home, and the Revelations on the Father's Love. The Father speaks to his children. Sign up for the School of Reading now. We'll send you these 3 books. I'd love to have you as a student in my School of Reading. Viva Christo Re.